Every bond has an expiry date. A day it ends, it pays you back and disappears. So here's a strange question. Why the most popular way to own bonds has no expiry date at all? It never ends. And that's not a mistake, that's the whole point. And by the end of this video, you will know why. Hi, I'm Marco and welcome to Rich in 10. On this channel, we talk about early retirement in Europe without hype, focusing on what actually works. A single bond, it's a loan. You lend money to somebody, you get interest, the coupon, and at a date, the maturity, you get your money back. That's a bond. Hold it to maturity and the price in between is just noise. You will know what you get and when. Some videos ago, we talked about stocks and we have seen that you cannot pick winners. Therefore, you buy a basket of them with one click, maybe with an ETF, and that is a very efficient way to do the work. Now it would be obvious to be tempted to do the same with bonds, but you need to understand something fundamental. And to see it, you need to build the basket by hand. What does a bond have that a stock doesn't? Time. A stock doesn't age, a bond does. So every day a bond gets closer to its maturity date. But let's imagine you want an average maturity, midterm maturity in your portfolio. Let's understand this with an example. You buy a single 4 years bond. At year 0, it's all good. Your average maturity is exactly 4 years. But at year 1, it will be 3 years. At year 2 will be 2 years. At year 3 will be 1 year left. And then at year 4, you will be repaid. So you will have the cash. And then you will have no bonds anymore. So you do not buy one bond. You will build what is called a bond ladder. Picture this. Imagine to buy a set of bonds. A bond that will have maturity date in 1 year, another one maturity date in 2 years, and so on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the average maturity will be 4 years. And for the coders watching, you already know it. This is a buffer. Every year, the bond at the front matures, becoming cash. The bond at year 7 has now only 6 years to maturity. So what you will do is to reinvest the cash buying new bonds at year 7. This way you will refill the last position of the bond ladder. But this is a part-time job. Track every maturity, reinvest the coupon, place trades for every bond every year. A rolling bond ETF is a machine that does exactly this job for you. Automatically, every day, it never stops. The question from the beginning answers itself. Why no expiry date? Because that's the job of a rolling bond ETF. No expiration is not a bug, it's a feature. So who is this for? If you want a permanent position of bonds in your portfolio and you do not want to run the ladder by hand, you can buy a bond ETF. And that's all the product is. Not a smarter bond, but a position in bond you have decided, but you do not need to maintain. And this is why this is so popular among investors. If this is the first time bond ETFs actually clicked, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. Now there is one exception and it's worth 30 seconds of your time. There are newer instruments that are still bond ETFs, but they do work in a different way. They own bonds that they all mature at the same date. They will hold, for instance, bonds that they all matures in 4 years. Then, as time passes, they will get closer and closer to maturity. And when they all reach maturity in the same year, the fund will close and you will get repaid. So they have the same mechanism of a single bond, but diversified. And they exist for a reason. If you have a real deadline and you want to be diversified, let's say you need money in 2031 and you want to be diversified, that could be the solution. The question is never which one is better. Do I need the money for a deadline or do I want a permanent position in my portfolio? I'm not telling you which one to buy. This is not what this channel does. I'm telling you to know which one you hold. And now there is only one thing I left untouched. What can move the price of a bond while you are holding it? But that's the story for another day. I'm Marco. Let's engineer your freedom. See you in the next one.